面看到没？绿色的。
旅客朋友，列车运行前方就要到达。
My name is Zhang Chao. I'm from Shanxi and I currently live in Hong Kong. I'm a Chinese drum teacher. This is my students' last drum rehearsal before they go on their summer vacation. This is my 7th year in Hong Kong. I plan to go back to my hometown in Shanxi with 2 of my students to search for the most authentic Jiangzhou drum music. Our journey is about to start. Train 8849 is a green train that goes from Linfen to Houma. It is a 1-hour trip that stops in Xiangfen on the way. Xinjiang County is over 10 kilometers from Houma and is the place of where Jiangzhou drum music originated. It is also our final destination. Linfen is a major transportation hub in Shanxi province. This is where our journey begins. This old train is the most convenient way to get to Xinjiang County. The window is giving them a hard time. Ivan turns to a crew member for help.
我想问，可以帮我开窗吗？可以帮我。
行。
哦，那个叔叔过来了。
哦，开起来吗？
是。对。
这个吧，开了以后，但是你上来以后这样，这样就开起来了。
我最近冇啲啊。谢谢。
This is the first time Ernest and Ivan have come to the Chinese mainland. They are my partners on this journey. Children have a natural affinity for trains. The wind whizzing past the windows gets them excited. They pass the time playing games.
Oh my god.
Ivan and Ernest have never seen a train in which passengers can lie in beds. They are reluctant to leave.
Bye-bye.
The whistle of the train brings me back to my childhood 20 years ago.
很小的时候，跟着我姥姥姥爷一起，然后好像要跑去内蒙躲地震，对，然后就坐过绿皮车，那个时候是硬座的，但是太小了，记忆有点模糊。
At dusk, the train enters Houma station. The powerful drum sounds signal the approach of night. As darkness sets in, a grand show is about to begin. This is the first time I have seen shadow puppetry, a folk art form that is on the verge of dying out. Across the old stage is the Qixingya slope, a kind of naturally formed auditorium. The audience sit on the slope to watch the show. But it's not good enough for Ivan and Ernest. They set off in search of a better spot.
哇，哦，这里就是后台了。原来是这个样子的。
Kids always like to go backstage to watch the shadow puppets. Here they get the chance to see not only a performance by skilled artists, but also experience it after the show is over. The children have fun playing with the puppets. Late at night, the artists start to pack up. we're looking forward to tomorrow's journey. Historically, Xinjiang County was also known as the city of the lying bull. Long and short alleys form the bull's ribs. At the door of these folk houses built during the Ming and Qing dynasties are pairs of stone drums. They remind Ivan and Ernest of the classic moves in bullfighting tiger. These alleys are filled with quaint residences. We walk into one built during the Qing dynasty. After hearing the purpose of our visit, Mr. Chuan insists on taking us to a very special place. Walking on these steps feels like going back to ancient times. This building was originally used as a living space for unmarried young ladies. It's hard to imagine how they could live in such a small space.
真的看到以前的人生活的地方是什么样子。要让你在这儿住1个月不准下去，怎么办？
At noon, the host invites us for lunch.
这一下，哇！哇塞！
就把我忘了啊！
Saozi noodles are a signature local dish, famous for its tasty soup and toppings and smooth noodles.
这个面可好吃了，吃过自己擀的吗？没有吧？
The topping is exquisite. Minced marbled meat is stir-fried in a pot. Then black fungus, kelp, tofu and seaweed are added. The special scent of the topping and the chewy noodles create a unique delicacy.
好香。好吃吗？
好吃。好吃，多吃点啊。
After lunch, we say goodbye to Mr. Chuan and his family and continue with our journey. We're leaving the ancient town to visit the Jiangzhou drum bands in the surrounding villages.
乡村敞篷车哦！
我那里有一件很高的东西是啥来着？
应该是高跷吧？这个是。
哇！
啊，看起来好像很高哎。
好漂亮。
师傅，我们稍微停下来一点。师傅，师傅，我们这是在做什么呀？我们现在是在做什么呀？骡子。骡子。骡子，我们这是叫什么呀？步行。马拉鼓。哦，马拉鼓车啊！哇，是不是好厉害？你想不想上去打那个鼓啊？
我想上去。
师傅，孩子们是从香港过来想学习打鼓的，然后他们可以上来看一下吗？哦，好。哇，上去看一下。哇，怎么样？感觉？
你掉啊！你这个
好高啊！
It turns out that these stilts and horse-driven carriages are for a temple fair in a nearby town. This type of magnificently decorated carriage, loaded with drums, gongs and cymbals, is pulled by horses. In ancient times, it was used to boost soldiers' morale during battles. Today, it has evolved into a local art form and is an essential part of Chinese New Year celebrations here.
在这里很危险的，太阳晒着，非常热，
哎，挺好玩。
来，这边。
小心脚，小心脚，有没有磕到？
踩这边。
哇，小心，踩着轱辘，稍微往下点，小心。
这个小家伙是，1、2、3。
哦。
The magnificent carriages continue onward, and so do we. is rehearsing a piece titled Lord Guan Goes on an Expedition. The drum beats are ear-splitting and can be heard several kilometers away. Jiangzhou drum music is all about telling stories. Pieces such as the exciting Prince Qin reviewing troops, the magnificent Boatman on the Yellow River, and the humorous Mouse Gets Married have been passed down for thousands of years and become classics. As a result, this musical form was included in the first National Intangible Cultural Heritage List. Sai Li Feng heads the drum troupe. He is teaching Ivan and Ernest how to play bullfighting tiger.
一下一个风性，咚，梆，对吧？你也是一样，从这边开始转，砰，2、3、4、5、6、7、8，转成侧面，得了。把这回先试一下，来5、6、7、8，砰，3、4，加力5，加力度6、7。 动，对，看这多好，哎，好，停，这个动作改一下。我刚才跟你说，这样打我，直接实行它。
Bullfighting Tiger is one of the most famous pieces of Jiangzhou drum music. Though Ivan and Ernest learned it in Hong Kong, the meaning behind each movement and eye expression can only be understood by being here, where the art form was born. After we say goodbye to the troupe, I promised the kids that I'll take them to buy drums. It will be the very first drum they own. Mr. Xu has been making drums his entire life. There are 11 steps in the entire drum-making process, from the first step of making holes in the cowskin to the final step of tuning. A small error will affect the final tone of the drum. But Mr. Xu has dozens of years of experience.
排着队来踩。
孩子不要紧的，上去。哎，踩坏一个，
我
送你2个鼓。上去。
哇！
转圈踩。
哎，转着圈踩。
孩子，这个脚跟
脚跟用劲儿。
脚跟踩不用这个，用脚跟踩。
对，脚跟用力下。对，你要找那种给鼓按摩的感觉。
对。
好像会滑下来。
你是担心自己会掉进去是吧？
Stamping the drumhead looks easy, but it is actually the most tiring part. Treading on the tall drums is a daily challenge for every drum-making artisan. This dangerous action is repeated in order to create tension in the drumhead.
好了，师傅。
大鼓要几个人的？
对，大鼓要踩的时候要几个人踩吗？ 一个人踩
能上多少人上多少人？像给你们香港做那个，我记得上了23个人啊，全是笨笨的那个人，越笨了，你的重量越好，你上去。
哦。
The drumhead has to be stamped to get a crisper sound.
哇，声音越来越好了。
这个鼓好像一头猪，然后他在切那些猪皮。
你看切下来之后，那个皮边上面还有毛。
这个皮可不可以吃的？
哇，你看那里有那么多皮。
红金2万5千里吃这个都是好的。
In Mr. Xu's view, the uniqueness of Jiangzhou drum music is closely tied to the drums made in Jiangzhou.
这个纹道是这样的，这个纹道是这样的，所以说这
就跟切牛肉一样。对，你得顺纹它才能切下去。对，绛州的鼓乐是边儿比较多，
对，鼓点，
所以咱们就一定要这样做了，它的那个边儿才结实。
那就打不烂。
就打不烂。这个边是一整条吗？还是一段
一段的？这个接缝必须在一块板子中间。如果说这个缝要放这个板子这个有缝的地方，一下就坏了。
Our journey is about to end. Before we leave, the teachers from the drum band and I have prepared a surprise for the kids.
带你们去一个非常有意思的地方，是和我们打鼓很有关系的哦。
Beating drums with a band on a drum tower is just what the kids wanted to do. They beat the center and edge of the drum to emphasize the rhythm. This is the essence of bullfighting tiger. Achieving the required effect requires perfect cooperation between the two boys. Meeting, playing, testing, and fighting. This is the story of the bull and the tiger, as well as the friendship between Ivan and Ernest.
怎么样，能拿得动吗？
啊？
能拿得住吗？
放在脚上。
不想让鼓弄脏，很宝贵的，这不可以掉。
We're about to get on the train. We will first go to Yuncheng and then head back to Hong Kong by plane. But I believe more people will come to Shanxi to explore this magical land.
My name is Zhu Yuxi. I was born and raised in Xi'an. I'm studying for a PhD in city planning. I am taking the green train to Hunyuan at the foot of Hengshan Mountain to observe and document the ancient buildings there. Train 8824 goes from Ningwu to Datong on a journey that takes 3.5 hours. It passes through Shuazhou, Shentou, and Huairen. It is an essential shuttle train for the local people who go to school and work in the city. Most of the passengers on the train are people who live along the railway. Many have become friends, as they always take the same train. The happy atmosphere is infectious, and I decide to take a photo. The Confucius Temple in Hunyuan is the first stop of my journey. The artisans here are doing repair work.
哎，师傅们，你们好。你好，你好。哎呦，安主任告诉我你们在这儿做文庙的修缮，然后所以我想过来看一看。这是个雀替是吗？
对。
能让我试试吗？
可以呀。
Repairing the temple is an enormous project. The artisans told me that they have been working here for almost 10 years. The severe winter cold forces them to move indoors. The artisans are making decorative parts, including lotus piers and sparrow braces for the restoration.
看起来很简单，做起来好难呀。哎，那你像你这一个构件一般做多久？
这个有个2天吧。
你们都做了多少年啊？
那我们从上学就开始做。 像我今年40多了
，40多了
啊，做20多年了。
那你们为什么选择要做这个呢？
因为我们呢从小就也爱好这个啊，喜欢这个。再一个，家里老父亲也干这个。
哦，你们父亲
就这个熏陶啊。咱们一直做古建的嘛，做古建因为祖祖辈辈做这个，啊，这是一种传承。
祖祖辈辈都是做这个。
对对对。
哦，就在咱们
这个手艺吃饭。
感觉到你们就是很专注干这个事情。
你在工作中寻找快乐，你要不喜欢，你再干也干不好，对吧？
像你们这种师傅，国内还多吗？
哎呀，越来越少。
那您有徒弟吗？
这个
哦，他就是您徒弟。
对对对，慢慢培养嘛。
那你当时是为什么想学这个了？
就喜欢这个，说是跟上学吧。 其实刚开始就是打下手，然后后来慢慢的说是哎师傅让上手啊，慢慢就开始了。后来是越雕越喜欢，因为人手工雕出来的东西有灵性，体会那种乐趣。
我想看一下这个东西在建筑上，放在什么位置，怎么样用的。
我去看看。
哎，行，那有劳师傅了。哎，好，那我先走了。
好了，你们看一下吧。
啊，好的。
这个。
哦，这个哈。
对，那是缺气，那荷叶洞，它不起其他作用，只起那个装饰作用。
哦。这个雀替是新的吗？
后来补配的，原来没有了。
The Confucius Temple in Hunyuan was first built during the Liao and Jin dynasties, then rebuilt in the Ming dynasty. Of all the Confucius temples around the country, this one, called Dacheng Palace, is the only existing monomer building from the Jin dynasty, which is why it has been made a key cultural relic site under state protection. After leaving the Confucius Temple, I visit the world-famous Hanging Temple. Zhang Jiande has worked at the temple for most of his life.
哎呀，活住的！你过去以后啊，拿手一摇，是能摇得动的，能起到一种好学的感觉。
好想去体验一下呀！
哦，应该体验一下的。你在下边不管怎么讲，你没有那种学的概念。
对。
你只有身临其境去看一看，走一走，你就有这种感觉了。
这也太陡了吧，太险了。
对。学科室3门特别有意思的。你看啊，这个整个寺院啊，通过这个门一关，学务就封闭了，任何地方进不去。
是吧？它很窄哦。
对，刘主任你好。
Mr. Leo is the person on duty in the temple.
他们一到冬天，1个礼拜就是不回家了，就睡这个冷炕。
他闻到褥子去之类的。
对，你看，30公分啊，1米厚。
The Hanging Temple is a wooden structure. Fire is the biggest hazard. Even during the coldest time of year, staff are not allowed to light fires to keep warm. It's hard to imagine how people in ancient times managed to hang an entire temple on the edge of a cliff.
你看，它是上下2道梁。
它这个是插入山体了，是吧？
对，它是插2出漏1。这个梁我们看到是1，它在里边插进去的话呢，就是2，
更深，就是它的2倍。
在这个木栈道上边待的人多的时候上边承受压力大了，它就要往下压。压下来的时候呢，它有这个柱子，就给它梨木顶千斤顶起来了。这边横梁起到挑的作用，
对，
这边小立柱呢起到支撑作用，
是
2力合一，就是千古不朽了。
1500 years ago, people built this temple on the cliff. It still stands today, despite the erosion from wind and rain through all that time. The vicissitudes of history and the passing on of culture all happened on this magical land of Shanxi. The only way to experience the charm of this ancient culture is by being here.